I'm Anastasia Chatzka. I'm a fashion designer, pattern maker, and sewing educator, and I'm so happy you're here sewing along with me today. Today is all about folding fabric. When you look at a pattern and it says cut on fold, what does that mean? Well, this is a commonly asked question, and I am here to answer that for you today, so that way you cut out all of your patterns properly. Because you don't want things that end up too big or too small, do you? So follow along, and I'm going to explain exactly what this means. So when you cut out a pattern, a lot of times there's going to be this text that says cut unfold, and then there's going to be a horizontal line, and then there's going to be some little arrows pointing towards that fold. So that means that line needs to go on the fold of the fabric. What is the fold of the fabric? Well, what you want to do is take your fabric and you want to fold it in half. So you want both of the selvages to meet. And then you're going to have a fold on one side. So this fold line is still your grain line. And your grain line is always parallel with the selvage. And since we folded it selvage to selvage, your new grain line that you can use to identify is this fold. So when you go ahead and you place this on the fold, it's so important where exactly this is at on the fold. So if the paper is hanging over the fold, your pattern piece is going to end up way too small and your garment's not going to fit you. Whoops. So make sure that doesn't happen. And if your pattern is way back here, but like kind of close to the fold, your pattern piece is actually going to end up bigger. And if that happens, that means it's probably not going to fit into another piece that you're sewing to it. Like let's say if it's a skirt here and you need to sew it to a waistband, then that waistband might not actually fit on the skirt because you cut your front skirt a little bit bigger than it should have been. And if you want to avoid this altogether, you can totally trace out any patterns you have that are cut on the fold and make them one full complete pattern. Are you loving this technique so far? It is so cool, right? If you're loving it, make sure you subscribe to Sewing Anastasia so you can get all that other awesome sewing content. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you so much for watching. And you guys, don't forget to hit the notification bell so you know when all the new videos come out. So if you are placing this on the fold and you want to do it perfectly, you need to be absolutely on the fold of that piece of fabric. There is no gap between that piece of paper and that piece of fabric. It is lined up right on top of it. And then you can go ahead, weight it, and then you only want to cut around the sides that do not say cut on fold. So you leave that piece folded, because after you cut it and open it up, you're going to end up with one complete piece, usually the front of a garment. So imagine you have this skirt here and you cut down the center, then you would have a seam there, and that wasn't meant to be. So now when we cut all three sides and not the center front that says on fold, you're going to end up with one complete skirt front. So if we take a close look at this, you can really see how that paper is directly at the edge of the fabric. So that way there is no extra fabric hanging off the edge of where that paper is. And this here is a skirt front that I've cut out from this pattern before. So you can see when we open it up, it's a full skirt piece. And when it's folded, it's half of a skirt piece, and you can see that that pattern piece was placed on fold and it wasn't cut up the fold line. Well, there you go. That's what cut on the fold is, and place on the fold, and put on the fold, anything that's on the fold. Just make sure your fabric is folded and make sure you're following your grain line still, because your grain lines are so important when you're cutting out fabric, so that way your garments hang properly. I hope you enjoyed watching Sewing Anastasia today. If you have any questions about cut on fold, leave it down below and I will get back with you as soon as I can. And if you're not already a subscriber to Sewing Anastasia, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when all the new videos come out. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you so much for watching Sewing Anastasia. Thanks so much for watching today. Bye!